Anyway, yeah, so that's the Mike on the Machine podcast that I've been working on. Boudreaux, Dusty Cagle, they were on that. You guys definitely should go check it out. I'll be right back. Somebody's knocking. I'll be right back. What, man?
Hey, man, you got another episode? I gotta edit.
I told you I don't do that anymore.
Whoa. I don't love this. Huh?
Okay. Yeah. Wait here. All right, dude. This is the last time. Don't come to my house anymore. Don't come to my house anymore, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Pull up a chair.
These butt plugs.
Hey, how you doing? It's never been happier. Today's episode is with my good friend, the lovely and talented Annie Lowe. We have a ton of good conversations. This is one of them. I hope that you enjoy it. We've known each other for quite a while. She's one of my favorite people. I think you'll enjoy the episode. We haven't made it yet, but I'm assuming it's fucking good, dude. So stick around to the end. For no particular reason, I just want you there. Whoever wins this episode gets one of these butt plugs.
Right, left. Ooh. What you looking at?
Are we good? Is that enough?
Yeah, I think we're good. Let me just see how that looks.
All right, you guys are not paying me enough to do any of this, by the way.
Well, technically we don't pay you at all, because you live in a green screen. You can't smoke in here, dude.
Fix it in post.
I'm going to drink a drink that has a lot of words like super and power and potent on it. It is called Bang. It has a very aggressive logo, but I would like to read the not a lot of drinks like this have caution labels like this. And this one big thing that says not intended for individuals under the age of 18.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Because I'm positive someone under 18 could buy that.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then caution, do not use this product if you were pregnant or nursing. Do not consume this product if you were taking any prescription drugs and or have any medical condition. This product
They really
any
covering
medical
all their bases,
condition.
yeah.
This product contains caffeine and should not be used with any other products containing caffeine. So we'll mix it into my coffee, I guess. This product is intended for use by healthy individuals only. Really drilling down on that. The consumer assumes all liability if this product is used in a manner not consistent with label guidelines.
What's that mean?
It means that even if you have video of me drinking this, having a massive stroke and dying in this chair, my family can do nothing.
Right.
Especially because I
you
read it out loud. Yeah, damn it.
That's how they get you.
Oh, bang, you clever bastard.
Bang, you sons of bitches. Bang.
It's like as soon as you pop the tab, it's like there's a contract inside of it that you just kind of.
You know what it tastes like? Energy.
Ultra cool watermelon.
It does not.
What's the flavor?
Wilden watermelon.
Wilden watermelon.
Yeah.
Watermelon be wildin'.
It does not taste like. It tastes like watermelon that does not know how to behave, perhaps to a criminal extent. This watermelon has a restraining order against it, I would say. Bond violation is what it tastes like.
It's not allowed within 50 feet of someone with a heart murmur.
Oh my God.
Or a school.
Yeah. Yeah, kids can't have it either.
Yo, right, yeah.
Bang! Keep it away from your kids.
Potent brain and body fuel. All right.
Some people swear by it. They really enjoy the... let's do this.
They swear
Use
by
a
the
coaster. Okay, yeah. Oh, thank you. That would look trashy.
Oh, it's all right.
So
Bang is a sponsor.
Now we can talk about what we were talking about just a lot faster.
I did HelloFresh this morning, so I'm pretty excited.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
When's it come in?
Oh, what's that?
When is it?
Oh, it came in last night.
Oh, sweet.
So I got my HelloFresh or whatever I ordered it last week because I did it like 2 months ago, and I got it.
and it was pretty good. I got a couple meals. I get them for like 4 people, you know, because there's 2 of me. And just me, I just want 4 portions. I think 1 portion is not enough for an adult. I'm growing, you know. And so I ordered it forever ago. I did it. It was fine. It was good. I liked it. But it's super expensive. I can't afford that. I can always afford the first box. You know what I mean? Where it's like $65 off 64 meals. I'm like, let's go, you know? And so I cancel it, and then I wait a couple months, and they send me a, you know, hey, come back to daddy. And so I ordered it again. I got it. And then yesterday, I was home. I did nothing. I told you I felt like poop. And I just, I ate 3 pastries, half a pizza, and a piece of cheesecake. And
Italian grandma diet.
Italian grandma diet. That's what I'm on, you know? And I felt like shit. And then I was like, well, I should have just made the HelloFresh one. And so this morning I got up and I made some HelloFresh. It was pretty good. I got a sandwich in the fridge there. It was a egg. I think it's eggplant, steamed eggplant with olive oil, and then there's some kind of cheese. I don't remember what kind of cheese it was.
Mozzarella.
Nah, it's different. It's like bucata or something like that. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Bruschetta?
I can look it up. Let me look it up. And then
I
got some
much
tomatoes
prefer
and-
you just sit here and continue to make up words that sound vaguely Italian.
Usually I would just pretend to know the name and just mess around, but you know, for burrata.
Oh, that is good cheese.
Really good cheese.
The
With
cheese
some
where
pesto.
you cut it open and it's kind of it's goopy in the middle.
Yeah, it's gooey.
Oh yeah.
So it's pesto. You put pesto on the bread, nice bread. You slice it in half. Some pesto, some burrata, and then the steamed eggplant with olive oil and vinegar, salt and pepper, and then some tomato slices. Pretty fucking delicious.
Oof, Maroon.
Wow, it sounds like you like HelloFresh almost as much as the wonderful services provided by Squarespace or MailChimp.
MeUndies. Actually, so I am trying to get some, you know, look, if Bang wants to be a sponsor, if Harris Teeter Seltzer wants to be a sponsor, Dude Wipes, I'm really going after this Dude Wipe sponsorship. I love them so much. People don't understand. Look, the amount of people I've turned on to using wipes for the butthole is it's in the hundreds, man. Because I talk about it on stage, I talk about it in person. There are comics I know who are pretty up there, and they would point to me as someone who changed their butthole situation, because I just feel like toilet paper doesn't get it done. You know what I mean? And Dude Wipes, the little single you ever hear about? Do you know about Dude Wipes? This is how much I love Dude Wipes.
No kidding.
You got Bill Burr into him.
I got
hey,
Dude
Trundy, just want to thank you. Dude Wipes.
I always have they're individually wrapped, dude. I fucking love them. Every time I take a poop, I got a Dude Wipe. You know, don't flush them. They says flushable, but I don't flush them. And I just, you know, you're not doing the heavy part of your business on the Dude Wipe. You know what I mean? Toilet paper, toilet paper, toilet paper, Dude Wipe, toilet paper. You know what I mean?
Clean up hitter.
Yeah, it's just so nice, especially because I'm old, man. And my butthole is just like, you know.
I'm secure enough in my gender that I would perhaps use a Dude Wipe.
I would love it if you did.
Giant
and Dude
trans
Wipes are for
lady.
everybody, you know.
Yeah, well, especially now that like, as far as like romance is concerned, the butthole's definitely moved up in the lineup.
Yeah.
As far as like,
so the amount of times, you know, I see people. When I used to drink and I would be out at bars and I see people go to a bathroom to hook up, I'm like, you know, you should do some maintenance before you head in there, and maybe that's where a Dude Wipe. Anyways, go to Dude Wipes.
Yeah.
Promo code Trundy. So
now that this is.
I'm not fucking around with the Dude Wipes thing. I am going to
happen.
chase them aggressively for sponsorship. And really all they need to do is just give me some.
Yeah.
Okay, this could be the Bang energy drink talking. But because eating ass has just, I mean, like, nothing makes me feel like I'm living in the future than people's enthusiasm for eating ass.
Yeah.
It really has helped me with my journey to personhood sexually.
Okay, yeah.
So, you know, I just feel appreciated.
It's a whole new thing, really.
And I wonder.
It's your generation doing that.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Born
Thank you
too
for your
late
service.
to explore the world, born too soon to explore space, born just in time to eat ass.
Just in time.
Mm-hmm.
Pull up a chair.
Do you think your grandparents ate ass ever?
No.
That's never. Just never. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's a complete new thing. Even my generation was not very interested in most butthole stuff, and then the next generation is just so clearly into it. And I think it speaks really to technology.
Yeah. So it makes me wonder, like, what a dude wipe tastes like.
Oh, I'll tell you what it
Ginger.
feels like is love, you know. And I think
What
his
it tastes like might be antiseptic. hand
antiseptic,
lotion.
yeah, which also is what love tastes like. I think, I was doing a bit on stage when it was like, you see my butthole stuff. I'm the butthole guy.
You've seen my butthole.
You've seen my
You know
butthole
me.
stuff. You know me. I'm a butthole guy. But it really is like, I was doing this bit on stage. It was like, my generation, the buttholes were not a real thing. And I think now younger people are into it. And people my age are like, no butthole stuff. And we're wrong. It's just, no one's ever had their ass eaten and been like, stop it. You know what I mean? It's always nice. It's always fantastic. It's like, it's like a wet wipe that loves you. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
what a tongue feels like. It's a body temperature wet wipe that cares about how you feel. And I think that's fantastic.
What I mean, like, what could be more affectionate in a real way? It's like,
Intimate.
I see you, I appreciate you, I'm into what you're about, to the extent that I'm gonna put my mouth on your anus.
Yeah. Look, I don't think I personally am a huge fan of the act. I'm not opposed to it, but I feel like
You're not gonna be picketing.
you put a ring on this finger and I'll do whatever
Yeah.
you're trying to do. You know what I mean? I think some people, lick butthole casually. For me, I think there's got to be a commitment involved, but I'm not against it. So,
Prude.
It's very progressive of you.
but you can trust that anyone could eat my butthole whenever they wanted to, and it would be clean. Thank you, dude wipes.
I'll tell you, I caught myself bleaching my teeth and the whole of my butt. At the same, for the first time, at the same time. And I had to take a moment and go, Annie, what a milestone. Putting your best foot forward. Bleaching your own anus is a kind of betting on yourself I would have never done in the past. That's not something you do just for you. You know what I mean? In the past, I wouldn't have even separated my light and dark laundry, and like, look at me now.
All right, man. Moment of truth. See what you got. Ooh, tough luck, man. All right, I win. So you know what that means. Take it off, dude. You look really good. Fit. You look fit. I want to get that mole checked out, though.
When was the first time you were really honest with a therapist where you felt like you didn't have to hide what you were actually going through?
That was
Or how you were
maybe-
feeling or who you were?
Well, like, chronologically?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Not like 2018. Okay, so it came in degrees. Like, the first time I saw someone about like my depression, bipolar disorder kind of stuff, like that was because it's like my thoughts were getting dark in a way that was like starting to scare me, and that was something where it's like I can't tell anyone I'm thinking this.
And you have a comics brain, so your brain is always talking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it is a sad irony finder in everything. If there's like a way where something is comically disappointing, it seeks it out. But I started getting medicated for that, and it was really cool. But it was 2018, I think, when I saw a therapist and was like, this is tough to say, but I'm ambivalent about my genitals. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, and he
First
was,
time you said it out loud to anybody, or?
No, there was one. There's another comic. I'm not gonna say their name, but there was another comic, and I mentioned it to them. I was like, look, I need to tell someone this, or I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, for a while, I was almost more scared of coming out than I was of dying. I knew I needed to do it because I'm like, if I don't do this, it's gonna eat me completely from the inside out, and you know, one of these days I'm just gonna go out to the woods and not come back. Closet sucks, man. But after I told them about it, it was sort of the beginning of like this really beautiful thing where I just realized most people at worst just don't give a shit.
Right.
You know, which is such a, when I tell people and they're like, I don't care, it is like the most wonderful thing I can possibly, you know.
Well, because we, yeah, that's funny. We tend to think, we think about us all the fucking time, you know, and an unhealthy amount. And then we assume, without even recognizing, that we think everyone else thinks about us equally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they don't, they're thinking about them. The amount of times I've gone to somebody and be like, hey, I got to talk to you, and said something. They're like, cool. I was like, Jesus Christ, I just had a 3-week conversation with you in my head. None of them went that way, you know?
Yeah. Oh, the 3-week imaginary conversation with someone that ends up being 2 minutes of them being like, and? Yeah, that's cool. But I did it when I was kind of like breaking the news, because my thing, it wasn't like coming out of the closet was something where people were like, we always knew. I had it was down deep. It took a lot of people by surprise.
Well, I mean, I've known you for a while, and I think I might have been one of those people who was like, yeah, but I guess I just never made any assumptions. You said things, and I took them at face value. I don't think you ever really hid anything from me, but it was just like, it just wasn't a conversation that we had ever had.
I didn't hide anything from you that I wasn't desperately trying to hide from myself.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I had to start kind of breaking the news to myself in my journal that this was where things were headed, you know? Because I didn't know how deep it went until I really looked in the mirror, and I was like, yeah, all the way through. So
you said the phrase gender dysmorphia is, earlier. Is that, so I guess, I don't know when that starts, but is 2018 right about the time where you started really addressing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think a lot of trans people have this kind of like act out phase where it's like a gender expression phase where it's like I bought like some women's flats. Still wear women's flats like this. I was starting to wear them to work. I like wore a skirt a few times while I was still identifying male. Just to kind of, I guess it's just testing the waters. And it was like, you know, it's such a weird, shameful thing to dress opposite the gender, not opposite, but, you know, different than the gender you were assigned at birth. Like, it's just like, it's this unusual moment with oneself where it really is exploratory. And for me, like, at first I was like, oh, it's like a sex thing, which it wasn't, you know? And eventually I just came to terms with the fact that, like, I recognized myself more in those clothes. Like, I just felt comfortable. My head was clearer. And I felt like I was wearing clothes. It wasn't just stuff that was covering my body, you know? A
little bit of an expression.
Yeah. But I mean, it would be by myself. I would be at my house by myself. And I started doing a thing where I would write in my journal and I'd be honest about the clothes that I was wearing at the very beginning of each entry. I did that in like 2017, which was like a year before I came out. Like, I had to come out to myself first, which was just.
What's that like?
It's heavy. It's pretty heavy, man. It's really scary because it's, at that time I didn't know what would be involved. I didn't know how the world would greet me. I didn't know what my parents would. I mean, it was just like scary, big, scary stuff. And
you're doing that by yourself. So then you're having all of those conversations by yourself with other people in your head, right? So
yeah, I've been kind of
as
a lone
scary
wolf
as it
about
could possibly be, right?
Yeah, I see the benefit of a strong and supportive queer community. It's not like there wasn't one where I was around, but a lot of this, I mean, I was pretty isolated because of, just depression and other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we were isolated together,
alone together.
Alone together, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. There's an art to that, to closing yourself off from legitimately everyone. And, I'm world class at it. I think I was ranked top 20.
Picasso over here.
Yeah. I was, I'm still really good at it. I got to fight I noticed recently that I will do good. I'll plan some things. I'll get out. I'll see friends. I'll do a thing. I've been telling myself, do one thing every day. And then I get exhausted. And then like yesterday, I did 0 things and I felt like shit all day. And then today I had something to do. And so I felt a little bit better automatically. It's just such a weird thing. And I'm so good at isolating. And the fucked up part is, I do really enjoy being alone. It's just I can't trust myself by myself.
Yeah.
It's a difficult thing.
I don't know if a part of me is like, oh yeah, no, I enjoy time by myself and da. But I don't get nearly the amount of stuff done as I like romanticize my time. I'm not fucking Thoreau over here in the woods writing, Walden Pond. I'm like watching just garbage on YouTube.
Yeah. I watched a season and a half of Seinfeld yesterday, and I didn't have to,
Yeah.
And I didn't want to, and I just did because it was the easiest thing for me to do in the moment.
Total George move.
Yeah. I was trying to, Biff. I was trying to, it's like this fine line where people tell you, oh, take some time for yourself and make sure you rest up and all that. But my rest gets sad pretty quick. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You said,
but what I was going to say is like my time by myself. I'm like, yeah, I like it. I'm by myself to a fault still.
Yeah. Me too.
There's like a whole, and I know it, there's a whole world out there just waiting for me, and I think my time alone is probably a lot like the drinking. Like, I think I'm not going to realize that it wasn't quite as fun as I thought it was until I start doing something else,
Yeah.
Because it's like I start looking back on it and I'm like, wow, I didn't really have a lot of good times drunk, and I've had some of my worst times by myself.
Yeah.
Robert fucking Kennedy, but
I feel like one of the places where I really had to be the most courageous, especially early on, was the grocery store, because it's a really existential moment. I mean, everybody, no matter who you are in this crazy world, you need groceries. Yeah, you might be out of celery, you might be out of stuff to wipe your butt, Do you have a cat? That's aisle 7. Like, it's all... We're all there, and I need groceries, and I'll go out there, and I'm just out there with the other people, and it's very brightly lit, I'd be like, you know what, you got this, it's no big deal, who even fucking cares, just living your best life. Most people are super into it. You're a brave person. So I... and I go in and I know all of you know the feeling like when someone's staring at you, like when you're driving on the highway and you're just staring at the people next to you with that thing that makes them go. And you were like, that person could not have possibly seen me. Like, that. And I look over, and there are like the cashiers at these 2 aisles are just like, I mean, just like they're not even moving their head, just like following me with their eyes, kind of thing. And they have a look that I will say was a little judgmental. So I'm like, well, here's where the rubber meets the road. And I put my shoulders back, and I went around, and I bought groceries that are actually nicer and healthier than the groceries I normally buy, because trans excellence, I'm gonna. And as I'm kind of like bopping around the end caps, I'll check in every now and then, and I'll still, I even made eye contact a couple times, and it was like, fuck. And I'm not made out of money. At some point in time, I had to stop shopping. So I went to the register, and while this person is definitely avoiding eye contact with me and kind of beeping my groceries through, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable, so I'm just sort of spacing out, looking around, and I see this thing on the floor by the entrance to the grocery store, and it's. Have you ever been doing whatever it is you do till about 2 a.m, and then you just take your pants off, and then you just go to bed, and maybe because I'm not going to be judgmental, but perhaps in my case, some of the stuff in your life isn't right. And you just put the same pants back on and just scoot out the door the next day. And maybe the underwear from the day before is still in the pants. And over the course of the day, it just kind of scoots down your leg, and then you never know when that thing's going to pop out. It might be at the entrance of a Food Lion in Graham. I can tell you from experience, you never know. And I'm looking at my own underwear. And I go to pay, and the cashier has noticed that I was looking at my own underwear. So we both know now. And I'm just like, what do you do? So I paid for my stuff, and then on the way out, I just kind of... I put it in my purse, and then after that, I said thank you. After that, because I wanted, you know what I mean? I'm not ashamed. But on the long walk back to the car, I had to deal with the fact that I would not say that was prejudice that I was dealing with in there. I felt like those people correctly judged me based on the content of my character.
And I'm like... Some balconies are just for show. So, in your special that we filmed, which whenever this comes out, that will be out right around the same time.
But what Eric doesn't want you to know is that this episode came out 6 months after the special. What was Eric's response to this?
Hey, we can do it.
What are you gonna do when you head to the polls this month? Nah, vote for Trundy, that's what. This message is brought to you by the Tom Simmons Communist Party.
The grocery store bit is... I fucking love it so much, and we won't break it down. Maybe we'll just show it here, but that's a great point to all of this. You know what I mean? I think in the line you have at the end of it is fantastic, you know? And I think, yeah.
I'm proud of that joke.
It's a good one.
I would like to thank you for editing out the shots of me drinking whiskey.
Oh yeah, I did my best.
That is so sweet.
There are some in there that I can't avoid, but we got rid of
that's
as many
fine.
as possible.
Look, it'll give me something to talk about in the next one.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. All right. So September 16th last year, we filmed your comedy special. We had a few months running up to it. You did a lot of work to get ready, and then we filmed it, and we had a great time. And you were drinking then.
Yes, I
and
was.
So now thinking about it, having that kind of memorialized, and now as recovering from that and working on sobriety, what are your thoughts on having that
Me
memorialized?
drunk be the thing that I can finally show people.
Well,
It's like being like, hey, yeah, I'm a comedian. I'm a sober person. This is
Here's me
this is a
drinking.
video of me drunk.
Yeah. Well, we so that was a thing that I, as more time went on, and when you started headed towards sobriety, I was like, well, it just took. So there was a first show, which you weren't drunk for, and then there's a second show where you had some sodas, and then I on the night of, I was like, well, I like the first show way more than the second show, anyways. And so I was like, I'm only going to use the second show for pots. And we basically did that. But that first show was so good. And
I'm smiling.
Yeah.
Because I remember we just watched some clips. And I was like, well, what was the second show like? Can I see some of that? And you were like, I don't know if you really need to see that.
I don't know if you wanted to see it,
Turns out it probably didn't. I just didn't know it.
I think,
and you know what's the worst thing is I thought I killed the second set. I mean, that's just the insidious nature of alcohol. You just think
it wasn't horrible. It just that first
spinning
show,
gold up there.
Yeah,
and it's
the
like,
first
you
show.
guys know, you ever notice feet smell, don't they? Mine do.
The what's interesting. So I think, and if you don't want to talk about this, we can take it out. But we were here, and it was when you asked me to watch that second show. We watched the first show, and I was showing you, and you were like, "This is fucking awesome," and I was like, "Yeah, you look amazing. And all your jokes are good," and blah blah blah. And then you asked to see the second show, and I said, "I'm not sure you want to," and you watched it, and it wasn't fantastic. It definitely wasn't
Did
fantastic.
we watch? I don't remember watching.
We watched pieces of
Okay.
it. I skipped through a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
But then we had a conversation. You were right there, and I was right here. And I think you asked me some questions, and I said, I think you should look at not drinking anymore as a possible thing, And because I just always see a difference in you, and I don't think I saw the difference when I was actively drinking either. So it was like,
well, no, because before I got sober, you had almost never seen me not drinking.
Right.
I mean,
and I saw you a lot for a good 4 or 5 years.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like, yes. I mean, it got to the point where I was definitely coming up here. I drank before I came to the studio.
Yeah.
I was drinking in my car on the way to. I have a joke where it's like, they say now, you shouldn't go to places where you used to drink in early sobriety. And I'm just like, I'm a stand-up comedian. What am I supposed to never get in my car again? I used to drink in my car all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you said that, and the thing about our friendship is I know that you would never say anything to me rhetorically, like in the sense it's like, people, it was like thoughtful advice to heed. And it was definitely one of the things that was on my mind. But things still got, I mean, I knew I needed to quit because I was thinking about, maybe not drinking. And it was like, well, I can't not drink.
How do I even get by?
How do you,
What's
what I mean?
a day like? Yeah.
And no fucking idea. I mean, like, I couldn't think of like a stretch of 2 or 3 days where I had not had something to drink for like years.
Yeah.
Years. Like the only times I didn't have anything to drink was under strict duress or I had a terrible flu. Right. But I even managed to drink some when I was sick. I mean, it's just like, wow.
Yeah. dealing with some of the aftermath of not drinking anymore myself. You know, like for 7 years I did comedy, and I still, you know, I don't consider myself a sober person because I still smoke weed. I quit drinking, but when I was doing comedy, some days I would get blackout drunk on stage, and get through it or not get through it, and some days I'd go on stage and not drink, but I would drink either afterwards or before or whatever it was. There was always drinking involved, either celebratory or to kill the night, you know. And then I quit drinking. Like, I don't know, New Year, a day before New Year's 2020, right? And then I was supposed to go on the road that year, and I was like, well, I'm going to go on the road and not drink and see how this goes. And it would have gone horribly. And so I get, you know, Pandy Wandy happens, and I stay home. I stay home, and I fucking, Pandy Wandy, I stay home, and I don't get on stage at all, and I get really comfortable not going anywhere. I get as comfortable as I could be not drinking. And then when we come out of it, I go back to comedy, and I think to myself, well, this sucks. This isn't fun. This sucks. It's so difficult. My anxiety's too high. Why would anybody do this if there wasn't drinking or fucking involved? And now I'm trying to really figure out the anxiety of it all that I never really had to deal with for the first fucking 7 years.
Yeah.
When everybody else was like, oh, I'm so nervous, I was like, I don't get it. Why are you nervous? Drink half a bottle of whiskey and go up and talk shit, you know? And now I don't have that, and I'm really sympathetic to anybody who gets nervous because I'm like, fucking before open mics I'm throwing up now. It's like, it's really ridiculous, you know? Well, I think we're probably good for today.
Oh, good, because I have to pee again so bad.
Me too. Yeah.
Bang! Oh my gosh.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for being here at the end of the episode. I appreciate it. You made it. We made it. We did it. I love these episodes. I'm a super big fan of them. I know things get a little bit heavy in there, but that's kind of what we do. We have these heavy conversations. I'm hoping to do more of the light conversations coming up soon. I think I've been stuck having the heavy conversations because that's what I do. But now I'm finding that I want to be a little bit more light. But these things are important because what if there's somebody out there who feels the way Annie feels or the way that I've felt? And I think it's important to find people that share your feelings and just to know you're not alone. So hopefully you guys are finding your people, finding your community the way that we have with each other, with all the people I've made these podcasts with. So you're here at the end, and I'm not a liar. One of these is yours. You can have whichever one you want. Just send a self-addressed stamp envelope to Seth's house, 12345 Main Street. That would be his fucking address, too. All right, I love you guys.
I'm over on Maple Street.